The Department of Health Central Visayas office says the Philippine Genome Center or PGC detected a COVID-19 variant of concern in Cebu City. In a press conference, DOH-7 spokesperson Dr. Mary Jean Loreche says the PGC detected 2 mutations in samples in Cebu City, identified as E484K and N501Y. Variants of concern means researchers have not yet identified the exact origin of the variant or its difference in terms of transmission and intensity compared to foreign variants. Dr. Junji Zuazula, head of the Regional Health Department's Epidemiology and Surveillance Unit, calls the variant homegrown. Zuazula says this could be one of the major reasons why there was a second spike in Cebu. Despite the increase in the number of cases, local government units are not inclined to return to a stricter level of quarantine. The health department says the variants are more reason to get vaccinated. But local officials have not been able to provide an exact date as to when COVID-19 vaccines will arrive. Cebu City has been seeing triple-digit new cases and tops the list of cities in the Philippines with the most number of new daily cases. Before the holidays, it was able to keep its new cases of COVID-19 to a minimum. Octa research says Cebu City has a total positivity rate of 13% and an attack rate of 16.6% between January 27 and February 16. A positivity rate of 5% indicates a locality has the pandemic under control, while an attack rate of over 7% is considered high risk. Experts studying the coronavirus outbreak in Metro Manila warn COVID-19 cases in NCR can reach 2,400 a day, should the government place it under the least strict quarantine mode. In a report published Wednesday, February 17, the Octa research group notes 2,400 cases per day was the level in NCR in August 2020, when the pandemic became unmanageable and NCR had to be placed under stricter quarantine to curb transmissions. The country eased restrictions in July to August, and the healthcare system was nearly overwhelmed due to the spike in cases. Octa's recent finding comes after the National Economic Development Authority appealed to President Rodrigo Duterte to put the entire country under Modified General Community Quarantine or MGCQ by March to jumpstart the economy. Duterte said he was studying the proposal. The Octa team urges the national government to defer the proposal until all health workers in NCR are vaccinated, and local governments are given time to prepare for a transition to MGCQ. They also warn of the emergence of the more infectious United Kingdom variant of COVID-19 that might increase cases in the country by 15-fold. Meantime, Metro Manila mayors agreed to recommend the least restrictive quarantine, MGCQ, for March. 9 mayors voted in favor of recommending a shift to MGCQ, while 8 voted to stay in GCQ mode. Without warning, Australian users are no longer able to read or share news content on Facebook news feeds. Users in and out of the country cannot view or share Australian news content on Facebook or content from Australian news pages. International publishers can continue to publish, but users in Australia cannot view or share international news content on Facebook. This comes as the tech giant draws a line against a proposed Australian law that will require Facebook and Google to pay the country's new publishers for content. Facebook says on Wednesday, February 17, the proposed legislation fundamentally misunderstands the relationship between itself and publishers. It argues news outlets voluntarily post their article links on Facebook, which helped Australian publishers earn about 407 million Australian dollars in 2020 through referrals. But Emily Bell, director of the Tow Center for Digital Journalism at Columbia Journalism School, says Wednesday, the relationship is not as voluntary as it seems. Most publishers feel obligated to be on Facebook due to its dominance. Facebook has long been criticized for allowing misinformation to flourish on its platforms, and it now finds itself in a peculiar position of also blocking news media that provides fact checks on false content. While the Agence France Press fact-check page is blocked, the page of Mocha Uson, a known supporter of Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte, can still be accessed in Australia. Uson's page has a long history of spreading wrong information mainly aimed at targeting Duterte critics. Facebook's decision to ban media organizations from posting links to news articles on the social media giant's platform comes less than a week before Australia's COVID-19 vaccine rollout begins. Critics say the ban also prevented many health organizations, government health departments, and other organizations from posting links that inform the public. Some of the sites have been restored, but not all. Disney releases the first official trailer for its upcoming film Cruella on Wednesday, February 17. It tells the origin story of one of cinema's most notorious and fashionable villains. Academy Award winner Emma Stone plays the role of a young grifter who wants to make a name for herself through her designs.
How does the saying go? I am woman, hear me roar.
Cruella is the main villain in the Disney movie 101 Dalmatians. There, Cruella is a rich heiress who is obsessed with fur and hell-bent on creating a fur coat out of the spotted fur of Dalmatians. The film is set for a May 2021 release, but Disney has yet to announce when it's coming out in the Philippines. A graphic circulating on Facebook saying bicycle registration is now required in the Philippines is false. The comments on the false post show people mistook the graphic to mean the directive is being implemented nationwide. A Bandit Tonight published a related story on June 6, 2020, but was only pertaining to the registration of bicycles in Cebu City. The city government also suspended the ordinance shortly after the article was published. Cebu City Mayor Edgardo Labella temporarily suspended the registration of bicycles to support its residents and workers during community quarantine. As of Monday, February 15, the Cebu City Transportation Office tells Rappler the registration of bicycles is still suspended.